Welcome, everyone. I call this April 14th, 2026 meeting of council to order at 5:30 p.m. This meeting will be held in a hybrid manner where members of council, staff, and the public can participate electronically. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded and will be available on the township website. Notice is hereby provided that under the authority of the Municipal Act 2001 and in accordance with the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, that all information attained is considered part of the public record. All rules apply to the meeting as if everyone was attending in person, and if there's a problem with the technology impacting the proceedings of the meeting may be recessed. I'd ask that anyone that can to stand for the playing of the national anthem. We acknowledge that we are being hosted on the ancestral lands of the Haudenosaunee, Mississauga, and Omama people. We acknowledge and welcome the presence of all Indigenous people, including the Métis, Inuit, and other First Nations from across this vast land, who also make this place home. The lands we're on today are recognized in the Two-Row Wampum, Dish with One Spoon Treaty, Treaty 27, and the Crawford Purchase. First item up is confirmation of the agenda. Could I have a mover for the motion? Deputy Mayor?
I move that the agenda of the April 14th, 2026 meeting of council be confirmed as circulated.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Willis. All in favor? Motion is passed. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof for this evening? Councillor Proderick.
Thank you, Worship. I would declare on item 8.1 zoning amendment Amherst Island Radio as I'm a member of the board of directors.
Thank you. 8.1. Did I see Councillor Willis?
I also have a conflict on 8.1 as I'm an on-air volunteer with the radio station.
Thank you. Any other declarations this evening? Being none, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session. Deputy Mayor?
Through your worship, I move that council now move into closed session to consider a pending disposition of land located at Lot 18, Loyalist East Business Park pursuant to Section 239(2)C of the Municipal Act.
So moved, seconded by Councillor Parks. All in favor? Motion is passed. We will go into closed. Welcome back, everyone. We did start our meeting at 5:30 this evening, and we went into closed session for half an hour. And I would do a rise and report that council provided direction pending disposition of land located at Lot 18, Loyalist East Business Park, pursuant to Section 2239 2C of the Municipal Act. So the next item up, presentations. Amherst Island Recreation Association. So if you wish to come forward, just make sure you're all set up. Just push the button on the mic so it lights up, and that way everyone in the virtual audience can hear you as well.
Good evening. My name is Chelsea McDonald, and I am the chair of the Amherst Island Recreation Association. I want to thank you guys for letting us come tonight to present what we have done on your behalf on Amherst Island for recreation programs in 2025. First, I want to thank you for the $5,000 that you guys donate to us every year to help provide programs on behalf of Loyalist Township and for our community. I'll go through our presentation and just show you a little bit of what we've done. All right. So just an overview, we have a board of directors for our not-for-profit. There are 9 directors on our board with 3 executives. We have 10 volunteers, and we have program leaders and helpers. This year, we were able to have 2 paid instructors provide programs for us, and we were able to provide 13 programs in total, with a variety of participants ranging from 4 to 19 participants per program. We did 5 events. And we did have a Facebook membership that is 245 members. We also use the Amherst Island Facebook to provide recreation programming information, and we are able to do newsletters to provide that information as well. We have 87 subscribers, and we have 2 Facebook program chat groups. All right, so a little bit about the programs we offer. So in the past, we've done a variety of sports-related programs. We find that Zumba is a really big popular one with everyone on the island, especially young moms and kids come out to enjoy that program. And this year we were able to find another yoga instructor that is actually a community member, so someone local that's able to come out and provide yoga to the community. And that was another big accomplishment for us because it was a really good program. Volleyball has always been really popular with the young adults as well as some older adults. And we find that in the spring we get a higher volume with university students coming back to play. In the fall, we actually changed it to 13 plus because we had some eager young students that wanted to join as well. All ages sports night is honestly one of my favorites because the kids come out to play, and we do a variety of different sports from soccer to volleyball to pickleball to basketball, and the absolute favorite is dodgeball. And every week they ask if we can play dodgeball. We have pickleball, which has changed a lot over the last year. So pickleball was super popular, but unfortunately with some injuries and that sort of thing, the numbers have declined. But last year we were able to provide a 50+ night as well as an adult pickle night. So that was pretty good. We've done teen volleyball as well as the adult volleyball. And then Winter Walking Club is something that we provide to the community in the winter months. So from December to April, where the community has a safe space to walk and to socialize. So that's really good. One of my other favorites is youth art. So each spring, this is the 3rd year we're doing it, we're able to provide a youth workshop for art with using local island volunteers to provide these classes. Last year, we did watercolor and pencil drawing and animation. The newest thing we were able to provide for youth this year was electronics. We had an island resident who reached out and wanted to teach robotics to the kids. So they had done a little bit in the classroom at school, but she really wanted to provide a camp. So we worked with her and were able to provide a 4-day camp in August for kids to learn about robotics. They made some really neat Christmas decorations that lit up and robots that moved. And it was so successful, she opted to start an actual club starting in September, where the kids go twice a month and they learn how to do coding and make more robots. So that's pretty cool. We did Community Cards Night and Yarn and Yammer. Both those were events kind of held throughout the winter that unfortunately with, it being the winter, the numbers weren't great, but was something that we wanted to provide to see different opportunities for different community members. So in 2025, we were able to do a few different events. We held a winter pub night in February that was with the Winter Carnival that was with the Island Alliance. So that was a great night to get everyone out for a social event. We were able to do a first aid CPR course, which was provided for some of our directors that needed to have updated, but also for community members. So that was great. And then one of our island favorites is the Canada Day parade, barbecue, and fireworks. We did a Halloween costume contest this year with the rainy night that we had. The school was rented for the kids to come do an indoor trick-or-treating, so we were able to do a contest for that. And then we do a jingle and mingle in late November as a kind of celebration before Christmas. We get everyone come out down at the ferry terminal and do a celebration. So that was some of the events we did this year.
My name is Mike Walhout, and I serve as the treasurer, kind of reluctantly, but I do my best, and it's actually going pretty well. Chelsea's very organized, and she's bringing in a lot of the cash and through the programs. She's at the school most nights for these programs, and so that helps a lot. And before I get into this too, I'd just like to echo sort of what Chelsea was saying, and just show our appreciation for being able to use the community center as it is. It means a lot to our community, and we get a lot of feedback that I'd like to bring here today. And people just appreciate it being used and being able to use it when they when we have a community dance or that sort of thing. So we appreciate the efforts that council and staff are ongoing with the school board and all it takes to keep it going. Without going through everything line by line, what I've shown here is the majority of our in and outs from the account. And I'd just like to point out that 10,000 from Loyalist Township, which reflects 5,000 for programming from each year, and 5,000 was carried over from 23 in 24 into these books. And so actually we're running at a small deficit rather than a surplus, as it would show at the bottom. We do fundraising and we kind of do it as needed. So we're making up the difference that way. This was our first year as well, so we had to get through the accountant and all the not-for-profit filing processes that are costly, and we're going to look at ways that we can save money and perhaps access some grants as well. So that's I think our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation and the information. I just look at the council. Any questions or comments for the presenters? Councillor Willis.
Thank you. A comment, and that is to say thank you to to your executive and your volunteers. The programming that we get to enjoy on the island right now is very special. And I was at one of the children's art programs the other day, and it's kind of fun to see all the kids getting together in the school after school voluntarily. So thank you for that, and thank you for what you do for all of the residents and the seniors in the community.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I would entertain the motion. Councillor Proderick, if you could read it out.
Certainly, thank you. I would recommend that the presentation by the Amherst Island Recreation Association be received.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Willis. Any final comments? I'll just say thank you for being here this evening, providing the information, and thank you for working all year on all these programs to be able to be here this evening. But it's great for the community. So with that, I will call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. Thank you. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. It's quite riveting, but I understand if you can catch the 6:30 boat. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Up next is the statutory public meeting. And this is the one that Councillor Proderick and Councillor Willis have declared a conflict pecuniary interest on. And I'll just read the preamble while you're sitting down. This is in accordance, a public meeting is being held in accordance with the provision of 3412 of the Planning Act to consider a zoning bylaw amendment. Amherst Island Radio Broadcasting, Inc. has submitted an application for zoning bylaw amendment related to a property described as Part Lot 3, Concession North Shore, as in LA 2311222, ST LA 2311222, Amherst Island, Loyalist Township, and municipally addressed as 5220 Front Road in the hamlet of Stella. The intent of the application is to allow Amherst Island Radio Broadcasting, Inc. to have a broadcasting studio for Amherst Island Radio within the existing Neilson Store. Council shall hear in person or by their counsel, solicitor, or agent any person who claims to be affected by this application. So with that, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have anything additional to share this evening?
Yes, through the mayor, I'll just briefly overview that the application proposes to amend the Hamlet Commercial Exception 2 zone to add a broadcasting and communications establishment as a permitted use. As you noted, the purpose for that is to allow Amherst Island Radio to use an existing space within the Neilson store. Staff have reviewed the application against provincial and municipal policy and are recommending approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, any questions or comments for staff at this time? I just have one, and I believe it's in the report, but I just want to confirm it. The location is in the meeting room in the back of the store, is in the rear of the store, is that correct?
Thank you. Through the mayor, yes, that's correct.
Thank you. So with the public meeting, I will go in chambers first. If anyone wishes to speak to this, you can come forward to the mic and we will receive your information. And I'll also state that once we're done in chambers, I will go to the virtual audience. And if anyone is in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to this, please use the raised hand feature and we can bring you into the meeting. So in chambers, is there anyone that wishes to speak to this? Seeing none, I will go to the virtual audience.
There's no one online.
Okay, so there's no one to speak to it in the virtual audience. So that concludes the public meeting and I would entertain a motion. Deputy Mayor.
Through you, your worship, I move that the report from the Development Services Division dated April 14th, 2026, rezoning bylaw amendment application D14, 2026, 0002, Amherst Island Radio, Neilson Store be received. And 2, that the application to amend the zoning bylaw D14, 2026, 0002 be approved, and that bylaw 2026-15 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw to permit a broadcasting and communications establishment within the Hamlet Commercial Exception 2 C12 zone be enacted and passed.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Parks. Any comments from the mover? Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. Do you want to just let them know they can come back in? Okay, so the next item up is open forum. And we didn't have anyone register, pre-register for open forum. Okay, so I'll go in chambers first. If anyone wishes to speak through open forum, it can be any person may address council on a matter that is listed on the agenda, except items that we just dealt with under the statutory public meeting. And there will be 3 minutes to speak on an item that is on the agenda. In chambers, does anyone wish to speak under open forum? Seeing none?
There's no one in the virtual audience.
Okay. Open forum is complete. Next item up, 2025-2026 provincial gas tax allocation. Welcome, Director. Did you have anything to add to the report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing really other than just looking for council's approval to authorize this agreement and finalize that, and we can get the funds from the province.
Money's coming the right way. Thank you. Council, would someone like to put a motion on the floor? Councillor Proderick?
I would recommend that the report from the Finance Division dated April 14th, 2026, read 2025/2026 provincial gas tax allocation be received, and that council adopt bylaw 2026-18 being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and clerk to execute a letter of agreement between the province of Ontario and the Corporation of Loyalist Township related to funding provided under the dedicated gas tax funds for public transportation program for 2025-26.
So moved. Councillor Proderick, seconder? Any comments from the mover?
None.
Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. Thank you. Extension to development charge bylaw 2026-066. Is there anything additional on this one?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just make a couple quick comments. So basically what we're looking for here tonight is to have council basically extend the existing DC bylaw. The current one is scheduled to expire January 2nd, 2027. So we have initiated a review with our consultant, but in looking at the timeline in order to complete that study and do the public consultation and get it approved with the election coming this year, we didn't feel that that was a realistic time frame to meet. So we're recommending that we extend the expiry of the bylaw so we have more time. And in addition, as we were putting this report together, council may be aware that there was an announcement made a couple weeks ago that could potentially, we're not sure how it will affect the development charges. So this would also give us additional time to understand whatever the province and the feds have in mind for that program, and we can incorporate that into the new revised bylaw and bring that back to council. So all that council is really doing, the existing bylaw, all those parameters would stay in place. It's just the expiry would extend out.
Thank you. So council, I'd entertain a motion. Deputy Mayor Town.
Through your worship, I move that the report from the Finance Division dated April 14th, 2026, redevelopment charge bylaw 2021-066 extension be received and that council authorizes an amendment to bylaw 2021-066, being a bylaw to establish development charges for the Corporation of Loyalist Township, as amended by bylaw 2026-17 to reflect an expiry date of January 2nd, 2032, unless it is extended by statute, regulation of bylaw, or repealed at an earlier date.
So moved. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Proderick. Any comments from the mover?
Let's keep growth paying for growth as long as we can.
Seconder, any comment?
Ditto.
Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. And the 2026 tax rate bylaw. Is there anything additional to share on this one?
Not tonight, Mr. Mayor. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, I think.
Yes. I'd entertain a motion from council. Councillor Willis.
I move that the report from the Finance Division dated April 14th, 2026, 2026 tax rate bylaw be received, and that council enacts bylaw 2026-19, establishing the 2026 tax rates and due dates for collection of the 2026 property taxes.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Parks. Any comments from the mover? Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. And tax arrears write-off. Again, anything additional?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just make a couple quick comments on this report. Basically, we're looking for council's approval to write off some outstanding taxes on two different properties within the municipality. The first one is a property that basically no longer exists due to a condominium building being built on that property. Then we have tried to collect the taxes or the amounts that are outstanding on this roll number. But of course, with the condominiums being built, there's no actual property associated with this roll number any longer. So we don't have the option of actually putting that piece of property up for tax sale, which we would for other properties to recoup those. So we're recommending that those be written off. And the second property is a piece of property where the arrears basically are significantly higher than the value of the property. So we're basically recommending that we reduce the arrears, not write them all off, but write them down to the last 3 years, which would then allow us to initiate the tax sale process to try and recover a bit of the taxes, and hopefully somebody will buy it, one of the adjacent property owners, and we can get the arrears taken care of, or the remaining arrears, and that'll be owned by somebody else, and we won't have this problem again, hopefully. So that's kind of the synopsis of the two properties.
Thank you. So with that, I would entertain a motion from council. Question for clarification? Yeah, please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you to the treasurer. In regards to the first property that is noted in arrears of taxes, was it just a timing issue with the supplementary tax bill that went out before the declaration was registered on title?
Yes, so that was part of it. So once the condominium are registered on title, they get their own separate roll number for each one of those units. And this was the initial roll number. And there was a supplementary tax bill issued on that never was paid. And it's a numbered company, and we haven't been able to that company down to get that.
My other question was if this was a local developer, if there would be other ways to collect those arrears through other sources, but we don't know who they are. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So with that, I would entertain a motion. Someone would put it on the floor. Councillor Proderick.
Thank you. I would recommend that the report from the Finance Division dated April 14th, 2026, tax arrears write-off be received, and that council approve the write-off of $26,108.41 from roll number 1104-010-080-10126, and that staff be directed to recover the applicable amounts in the County of Lennox and Addington and associated school boards, and that council approve the write-off of $67,162.27 from roll number 1104-010-100-133-700, and staff be directed to recover the applicable amounts from the County of Lennox and Addington and the associated school board, and that council directs staff to commence the tax sale process on roll number 1104-010-100-133-700 for the collection of the remaining outstanding taxes.
So moved. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Willis, any comments from the mover? Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. Green Municipal Fund Municipal Fleet Electrification Grant Agreement. Welcome, Director. Do you have anything additional to share on this item?
Nothing additional, Your Worship, other than we're very happy that we've been successful in this application.
Thank you. Council, someone like to put the motion on the floor, please. Councillor Willis.
I move that that the report from the Engineering and Environment Division dated April 14th, 2026, Green Municipal Fund Municipal Fleet Electrification Grant Agreement be received, and 2, that council authorize the mayor and CAO to execute the Green Municipal Fund Municipal Fleet Electrification Grant Agreement with final terms and conditions satisfactory to staff and legal counsel.
So moved. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Town. Any comments from the mover? No. Seconder? Other members? Councillor Proderick.
I would just add that it's good to see this. It sort of aligns with our climate action plan and the lofty goal of 50% of our vehicles being, the light duty vehicles being electrified by 2030. Good work.
Thank you. Anyone else? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. And the Green Municipal Fund Community Efficiency Financing Grant Agreement. Anything additional for this one?
No, Your Worship.
Council, would someone like to put the motion on the floor? Deputy Mayor Town.
Through you, Your Worship, I move that the report from the Engineering and Environment Division dated April 14th, 2026, Green Municipal Fund Community Efficiency Financing Grant Agreement be received, and that council authorize the mayor and CAO to execute the Green Municipal Fund Community Efficiency Financing Grant Agreement with final terms and conditions satisfactory to staff and legal counsel.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Proderick. Any comments from the mover? Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. And additional budget request for water main investigation. Welcome. Anything additional to share? Any information on this item?
Nothing further to add, Your Worship.
Thank you. So council, if there's no questions for clarification, I would take a motion. Councillor Proderick.
Recommendation that number 1, that the report from the Engineering and Environment Division dated April 14th, 2026, RE additional budget request water main investigation be received, and that council authorized a transfer of water rate capital funds from CC 230028 Sir John Johnson Reconstruction to CC 250007 in the amount of $32,500 to cover the cost of additional inspections.
So moved. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Willis. Any comments from the mover? Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. RY contractor requests to remove holding symbol Legacy Estates. Wait for the musical chairs. Welcome back. Did you have anything additional to share this evening on this?
Through the mayor, no, just here for questions. Thank you.
Yep. So with that, if there's no questions for clarification, I would take a motion. Councillor Proderick.
I would move that the report from Development Services Division dated April 14th, 2026, re RY contractor request to remove holding symbol Legacy Estates be received, and that bylaw 2026-16 being a bylaw to remove the holding symbol with respect to Legacy Estates be enacted and passed.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Parks, sorry. Mover, any comments?
No, sir.
Seconder? Other members? Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. There are no items for Committee of the Whole. Any notices of motion this evening to be presented? Seeing none, are there any direct motions to be received this evening? Seeing none, we have the consent agenda where everything can be adopted in one motion unless someone wishes to extract one. Are there any items that council wishes to extract? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for all of them. Deputy Mayor Talbot.
Through you, your worship, I recommend that all items in the consent agenda dated April 14th, 2026 be approved as presented and that the necessary action be taken.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Parks. Any comments from council? Call a question. All in favor? Motion is passed. Announcements. Are there any announcements this evening to be provided? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for the confirmatory bylaw. Someone would like to make it? Councillor Proderick.
I would recommend that bylaw 2026-21 to confirm the proceedings of Council of Loyalist Township be enacted and passed, and that the mayor and deputy clerk be authorized to sign and seal.
So moved. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Town. Call the question. All in favor? Motion is passed. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Councillor Proderick, seconded by Councillor Parks. All in favor? Motion is passed. We are adjourned at 6:33.